Flood Protection Secrets, the podcast to the protection against heavy rain and flooding by Dr. Flood, Andreas Klippe.
So the big challenge is, how can house owners like you and me get a flood-free home? How can business managers like you and me get a flood-free company? And how can public servants provide flood-free critical infrastructure and livable cities?
Flood Protection Secrets, the podcast by Dr. Flood, Andreas Klippe. This podcast is for foresighted and proactive people who do not want to shovel the muddy water out of their room while standing in the midst of the disaster.
Therefore, those who design and plan, the architects and engineers, need to construct such buildings and cities, and that even when the entire environment is completely flooded. That is a challenge, and this podcast will give the answers.
Flood Protection Secrets, the podcast by Dr. Flood, Andreas Klippe.
Let me ask you something. When do most people think seriously about flood protection? Unfortunately, it's almost always after they've been hit by their first flood. I've seen it everywhere, in airports, factories, shopping malls, hotels, universities, government buildings. At first, flood protection is something we think about later. Then the rain comes, the water rises, and suddenly it's not just about wet floors, it's about damaged infrastructure, lost revenue, and sometimes even lost lives. One factory manager in Southeast Asia once told me after a major flood, "Oh, Dr. Klippe, it's only we had done this last year, if only we had done this last year." By this, he meant investing in a proper flood protection system, but by then the damage was done, and it cost them 5 times more than prevention would have. So the sad truth is, the first flood is always too late. That's why I started this mini-series, Why Choose the German RS Demountable Flood Barrier, to share real-world stories and proven engineering that can help you make the right decision before disaster strikes. In the coming episodes, we'll hear about German engineering built for decades of climate resilience, certified safety that passes the toughest global standards, robust anchoring systems without risky ground trenches, fast anti-theft deployment for sudden storms, lightweight yet strong barriers that even one person can handle, and success stories from around the world that show that what works and what does not work. So every episode is based on real projects, real challenges, and real results. Whether you manage a critical facility, own a business, or oversee public infrastructure, my goal is to give you the knowledge to protect your property, your people, and your reputation. And as always, I want to share a golden nugget with you. So flood protection isn't a cost. It's an investment in uninterrupted operations, in safety, and in peace of mind. Wait until after the first flood and you are already too late. Yeah, that is already the first introduction. That is the start of this mini-series. And I hope if you liked it, and if you think, yeah, that could be something for me, then don't miss the next episode. And that was the first episode of our mini-series. It's really a mini-series. Why choose the German RS Demountable Flood Barrier? In the next page, in the next part, we'll dive into how German engineering delivers flood protection that lasts for decades. Until then, stay safe and flood-free. I wish and hope for you that you make the right decisions when it comes to your personal flood protection. And if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to this podcast channel if you haven't already. Now it only remains for me to wish you a good day, do something with it. Maybe until the next podcast episode. I would be very happy. See you then. As always, stay safe and flood free. your Andreas Klippe and the whole Flood Experts team.
That's it again with the new episode of Flood Protection Secrets, the podcast by Dr. Flood, Andreas Klippe, German engineer, book author, and head of the Flood Experts. What can Dr. Flood, Andreas Klippe protect for you? Anytime? Worldwide? Contact us or just click through to www.floodexperts.de/bonus. Detailed engineering. German quality. Safe. Flood protection secrets. The secrets you'll want to unfold.
Don't forget, you're only one flood barrier away.
Subscribe to the season, and you'll never be late for an episode.